RV Getting There, the place for road adventures. I'm Rick, your pilot.
And I'm Dawn, your co-pilot for this adventure. In this episode, we take a visit to Wisconsin in the town of Sumter in Sauk County.
If you find yourself on Highway 12, about an hour north of Madison, and just a 30-minute drive from the Wisconsin Dells, you can have a diversion excursion to the home of the largest scrap metal sculpture in the world.
If you're into steampunk or science fiction, you will be titillated with what lays in front of you at this free attraction. This is Dr. Evermore's Forevertron.
You are gazing upon the largest scrap metal sculpture in the world, the Forevertron. It is housed in Dr. Evermore's Art Park on Highway 12 in the town of Sumter, Wisconsin. It stands 50 feet high and 120 feet wide and weighs in at 300 tons. It was built in the 1980s by Tom Every, a demolition expert and futurist who spent decades collecting antique machinery for the sculpture and the surrounding creations that formed his fiction. The sculpture incorporates two Thomas Edison dynamos from the 1880s, lightning rods, high-voltage components from 1920s power plants, scrap from the nearby Badger Army ammunition plant, and the decontamination chamber from the Apollo 11 spacecraft. Dr. Evermore's Park is home to a large number of other sculptures, many of which relate to the Forevertron, such as the Celestial Listening Ear and the Overlord Master Control Tower. Other large-scale sculptures include gigantic insects, the Epicurean bellows-driven barbecue train, the dragon and the UFO. The most numerous sculptures are the Bird Band and Orchestra, which includes nearly 70 birds ranging from the size of a child to 20 feet tall. All creations are made from scrap industrial parts, geological survey markers, knives, loudspeakers, springs, and musical instruments, among other salvaged materials. Every took pride in allowing the original materials to remain unaltered as much as possible, using their original forms in new juxtapositions to create his aesthetic. Tom Every was born in Brooklyn, Wisconsin in 1938. When he was a young child, his family collected scraps for the war effort, which heavily influenced Every's life work. At age 11, he started the Brooklyn Salvage Company. By 1964, he formed the Wisconsin Byproducts Corporation, and for the next 20 years, he supervised the wrecking of more than 350 industrial sites across the country. In 1984, Every retired from the industrial wrecking industry and used his collection of scrap metal to begin building his futuristic visions that his alter ego Dr. Evermore envisioned. According to Every, Dr. Evermore was a Victorian inventor who designed the Forevertron to launch itself, quote, into the heavens on a magnetic lightning force beam, unquote. In addition to the Forevertron itself, the creation includes a tea house gazebo where Queen Victoria and Prince Albert may observe the launching of Dr. Evermore. It also includes a giant telescope where skeptics may observe the ascent. Sadly, Tom Every passed away in 2020, leaving his daughter, wife, and Dr. Evermore followers to promote his vision and passion. So welcome back. You know, Dawn, I really enjoyed this Dr. Evermore's Forevertron. I just thought it was really unusual.
It was very unusual, and it was nothing that I would have thought that it really turned out to be. It was right, near the Wisconsin Dells. It was a place that I mentioned to other people since seeing it, and nobody seems to have heard of it. So it was really, really a great find.
What I was really probably taken aback by was when you turn that corner and you kind of see this huge spaceship. I mean, you thought that, are we on a steampunk? Are we in a Doctor Who set? Are we in some kind of foreign thing? I mean, it was just mind-blowing that he put all this time together.
It was so ginormous, and it was like a sci-fi movie set. And just to think and consider the amount of time and effort and creativity and thought that had to go into all of this, and that he was able to use all of these parts from projects that he had been involved in, that were demolished and that he saved and salvaged. And then putting all this together, I mean, it's like you're expecting this time machine to let you come in and actually transport you somewhere.
Yeah, I know that when you were walking around, we were fortunate enough, there were two women in the gazebo, and one was Gary Every's wife and daughter. Wife is Lady Eleanor, and we were talking about his life and his ambition. You know, he was in the business for about 20 years and he collected all this stuff, but this was like kind of his alter ego, and he really got into it. And the thing I find really interesting is that he didn't do it for money or fame, and that also his family continues, and that you met his daughter, I believe.
Yep, his daughter, very interesting, very creative in her own right. She had some things that she had put together from items that had been salvaged, something as simple as a spark plug, and some of the things that she made out of that, just so creative. She had a little fork that she was able to turn into this little cricket, and so cool because it is just one single item, and that's it. Very cool. And now let's pass along some ideas on how to amp up the fun for this road adventure.
Well, from my standpoint, Dawn, this place is fun and memorable all on its own. But we thought of an idea that would take it to the next level.
And since all of the creations are a conglomeration of parts of many industries, we thought a treasure hunt would be fun.
So let me clarify. We have used photos of some of the things that you'll see when you visit the park. And through photo editing magic, we have focused on one part of a larger entity and removed the rest. You have to guess what the larger item is and take a picture of it. Now, the person or team who either gets all or the most, and there's 10 items altogether, after a time limit, wins.
The Dr. Evermore's Forevertron Treasure Hunt worksheet is available on our website. We just have the link, we've put the link below. Just download it and print as many copies as needed.
I hope you have fun on this road adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. And if you want to be notified of future videos, please subscribe to our channel. And of course, we appreciate any feedback on the video or if you visited Dr. Evermore's Forevertron. And remember to embrace the journey.